What's up, metalheads? You know who I am. You know what channel this is. But for anybody that just happened to click upon this video and this is your first time seeing the channel, my name's Jamie. This is the Blades and EDC channel. Click that subscribe button, turn your notifications on, and thank you so much for being here. For all of you subs, I really appreciate all of you. You guys are the reason I keep making these videos and doing this, so thank you all so much. Alright, I got a cool one for you today, and this is a knife that's actually available in a knife sale that has not sold yet, and I'm surprised by that because this is a really cool knife and has a really cool story behind it. Not this one in particular. This is the Spyderco Autonomy 2, but the original Autonomy, which is still available, I guess it's not the Autonomy 1, it's just called the Spyderco Autonomy. It was designed for the Coast Guard rescue swimmers, and it was something that they could use one-handed, cut people loose from whatever they needed to cut them loose from, and you know, it was designed for a purpose, right? So the original Autonomy 2 had a Warncliffe blade with a serrated edge, so good for cutting ropes, cutting people loose from whatever, and yeah, really cool for Spyderco to do that. And that Autonomy and this Autonomy were both designed to deal with salt water, right? Everything in here is stainless steel, and the blade is LC200N, which is a fantastic steel, highly corrosion resistant. And this is more, the Autonomy 2 is more for a utilitarian use, for an everyday use, and because a Warncliffe that's serrated, you know, people day to day, normal people aren't going to need that. The Coast Guard, yes, maybe Navy SEALs or even a diver. If you're a you know, you like to go scuba diving or free diving or snorkeling, whatever. Actually, probably not snorkeling, but if you do any type of diving where you have tanks and hoses and things like that, the Autonomy 2 would be or the Autonomy 1 would be better for you. The Autonomy 2 would be good too, I would think, but you know, in those situations, you really do need a serrated edge. It would definitely be better for those situations. But for the rest of us, this is great. This is the normal Spyderco leaf-shaped blade, fully automatic knife. And when you first glance at it and you see this firing button and this pivot over here, it's kind of ugly. But then, once you understand what's going on here and why it is that way, it makes sense to you. So, obviously, this knife is designed to be in salt water, right? Not be around salt water, to literally be in salt water, underwater, in the water. And there is a spring inside here, and that is what fires the blade. And this thing kicks like a mule, by the way. This blade really fires. I mean, it's got a kick, you know. This thing has more recoil than a 22 pew pew, so yeah, it's pretty cool. But anyway, they sell the spring in here is corrosive resistant also, but it doesn't say what the spring is made of. I don't know what type of stainless it is, but it's some sort of stainless. Well, Spyderco sells a spring replacement kit, and that spring replacement kit comes with a tool that lets you disassemble this and take this out. And you can take this piece out without having to disassemble the knife and replace it, which replaces your spring, just by taking out the pivot, or I don't know what they actually call it. It's a pivot and the firing mechanism all in one that has a spring in there. So you can buy the replacement kits and just pull this out, put a new one in. You don't have to take the knife apart, worry about losing parts, worry about springs flying all over the place. It looks this way because of how they designed it. Another thing that's pretty cool is this firing button. Obviously, it's overkill, right? It's ridiculous. When you compare it to other automatics, that's a big button, you know? It's a huge button. It's the size, a little bit smaller than a dime, but not by much. But it's that way for a reason. Again, it's that way so if a diver is underwater and wearing some sort of gloves, they don't have to try to find the button or worry about missing the button. It's right there for them to find that button. You don't have to wander around and figure out where it's at if you're underwater and you can't see well, or you know, it's very simple to find. very easy to feel where it's at, and that's why it looks that way. It's not that way because Spyderco doesn't know how to do automatics. Spyderco could make a fantastic looking, functioning automatic that's probably better than most others out there if they really wanted to. This is like this for a reason. It's for a purpose. Now, it's like this on the Autonomy, the original Autonomy. One thing I would say that I would like to see them do, if they do a number 3 or they keep making this knife, the rest of us don't need that, right? We don't need this button like this. We don't need that firing button to be that large and pronounced. It would be cool if they could make the same knife with something that looks a little better, a little more aesthetically pleasing. So, yeah. So, but it's not a big deal. If you buy this knife, you know what you're buying. You're not just buying a knife. You're buying something designed for the United States Coast Guard. And that's what it was made for. That's the only reason and purpose behind the Autonomy knife. Another cool thing is this one does have a locking mechanism. So if you lock that, you can't fire the blade. So if you got it in your pocket or wherever you're carrying it, you don't have to worry about accidentally hitting this really pronounced firing button here. So it's good that they did that. Very easy to engage and disengage the lock. Very, very simple. Also very easy to fire the button. Not hard at all. And it fires hard. I can't express to you how hard this thing fires. I mean, you would not want it in the hands of a child. I'll put it that way, a small child. You wouldn't want to let your 7-year-old son who's going into Boy Scouts who likes pocket knives, or Cub Scouts I should say at 7, or a 10-year-old who's going into the Boy Scouts. This isn't a knife you want to give him and let him fire it. Obviously you wouldn't give him this knife, but you know, you let your kid, you know, check your stuff out, you know what I mean? So it's got a lot of force coming out of there. So I really like it. I really do. I really appreciate the story behind it too. It's really cool to get a knife that has a very specific intended purpose, right? Very, very cool. And Spyderco made the 2 for the rest of us, right? It's not made for, this one isn't made for the Coast Guard rescue swimmers. This one's made for the rest of us. A lot of people saw that knife and were like, oh man, why don't you make one for everyone else? Well, Spyderco did it. They made one for everyone else. And they used high quality materials to do it. Very, very cool. I really like it. All right, let me give you some size comparisons real quick. This is a larger knife, which you want it to be for what the purpose is. So let's go ahead and bring out the Para 3 by Spyderco. It dwarfs the Para 3. And we'll go ahead and bring out the Yojimbo 2. Getting a little closer in size, but still not really close. It's a much larger knife than both of those. Let's bring out another Spyderco here. The Spyderco Chaparral. That's kind of funny. That's a funny comparison there. That thing doesn't even come close to the size. I don't have many knives that are going to be the size that I own personally. I do have some here on loan to the channel, like the Microtech SOCOM Bravo. The Bravo is a little longer than the Autonomy 2, but not by much. The Cold Steel SR1 Light, another big knife. Yeah. It's not quite that large, not quite as large as SR1, but pretty big knife, as you can tell. I got it. Oh, the thumb snatcher just about got my thumb. I forgot. I wasn't thinking, just grabbed it and unlocked it, and it about snatched my thumb. Whew, gotta be careful with that one. That one's scary. Yeah, I don't have any I don't own any side firing automatics, none at all. So I don't have another one of those to compare this to. But pretty cool knife. Let me give you the specs on the knife really quick. Where are they at? Alright, here it is. Pulling it up. Sorry, had it open and closed it. Alright, blade length is 3.5 inches. Cutting edge is 3.37 inches. Closed length is just under 5 inches, 4.92 inches. Blade thickness is 122 thousandths. Blade material is LC200N. It's drop point blade, leaf shape, drop point, whatever you want to call it. Satin finish, plain edge, G10 scales on it. So these are G10, which is also going to be very beneficial for saltwater. And the original Autonomy was also G10 scales, but they were orange, something bright, you know, for that sort of task. You want it to be a bright colored scale, and they did it that normal orange, that Spyderco orange they do for all those sorts of knives that they make for us, you know, law enforcement or Coast Guard or whatever branch of military they're making them for. The claimed weight on this is 5.5 ounces, and it's every bit of 5.5 ounces. Honestly, we're going to weigh it, but I'd be surprised if it's not a little more. Nah, it's probably right at 5. I think it's probably accurate. Probably right at 5.5 ounces. I don't own or carry many knives that are that heavy, so damn magnet. So it feels heavy to me, but it's probably right at that 5.5. So let's check it out and see real quick. $5.4, a little under. Check that one more time. 5.3, 5.4 ounces. So yeah, really not that bad when you think about what you're getting here. I mean, it's a large knife that's not a matic. So yeah, not that bad at all. Stainless steel liners also, and again, it doesn't tell me what the liners are made of, but it says they are stainless steel and highly corrosive resistant. So just, it'd be, I don't know, with something like this, you'd think they'd just go ahead and make the liners, the button, everything they could out of LC200, because it's so resistant to saltwater and corrosion. So yeah, very, very cool. And of course, with it being Spyderco, you know what they had to do. Although in this instance, there's absolutely no reason for a hole to be in that blade, and they knew it. There was no reason, but because they're Spyderco, they put one there anyway, and it's just a small little hole, just so they can, you know, they may as well not even put the Spyder logo on there anymore and just put a hole in everything. The hole is their logo. No need for billboarding. Just put a circle in the blade somewhere, and you know it's a Spyderco, right? Yeah. Pretty cool knife, guys. And this one is available for sale. I'll give you the price on it real fast. We are asking, where is it at? Where is it at? Autonomy 2. We're asking $200 for this, which is actually a very good price. If you're a patron and tier 3 patron, you can actually get 10% off of that, which is even better. On Knife Center, they're asking $225 for this knife. So, and this is brand new, never used, and comes just like new in the Spyderco box and all that good stuff. So yeah, if I could carry automatics, I may consider getting it, but I can't carry automatics. They're illegal where I'm at. We have some dumb rules in the state of North Carolina, so no OTFs or side firing. Or, well, we can own them, right? But we can't carry them. It's illegal. If I get, for any reason, something were to happen and get pulled over and a cop found this on me, yeah, I don't know what would happen, and I don't want to find out. So yeah, pretty cool of Spyderco to make something like this just for the Coast Guard. If you haven't looked up the original Autonomy, look it up. Look at some pictures of it. Pretty cool knife. Wharncliffe blade, serrated almost to the tip, but like the last half inch of the blade is a standard edge. So yeah, pretty cool. If you guys own one of these, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about it. If you own the original Autonomy, let me know. You know, did you buy it for what it was designed for? Or are you just a collector and you bought it? Or are you someone that's going to spend time in saltwater? Are you a diver? Do you go diving and that's why you bought the original Autonomy? That's where I see a lot of those being sold, not just to the Coast Guard or the Navy SEALs or anyone in the military or law enforcement that's in water, but I see people that like to go scuba diving buying the Autonomy. Maybe even the Autonomy too, but generally with those applications you want a serrated edge, so yeah, it would be much better. Yeah, let me know if you own one of these or not and what you think about it. And if you know any more, are they going to make more Autonomies? They're going to make some other designs, maybe revamp it a little. Be curious to find out. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. And I will see you guys on the next one.